clay content actually in the newsprint or in the paper and everything else. So you have to have a less ink density. So if you choose wrong and you select all your colors as uncoated and you print uncoated paper, you may have some pretty ugly looking pictures coming back at you because these settings are incorrect. Usually the printers will correct it for you, but just so you know. Anyway, that's my rant. We're gonna go to uncoated or coated here, and I'm gonna pick just a nice, maybe a warm red, and there's tons of colors in through here. And just for an example to show you any one, let's maybe get a nice one. I want a nice orange in through here. There we go. So we got a sky blue and an orange. Now what a lot of people do is they just leave it at that. Notice how you've got this little angly thing here. This is your curve. Now in this one I've modified this one. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to go to this ink number 2, Pantone 1655. I'm going to double click on this, and this is my duotone curve. Now everyone leaves this thing as it is, but this is the secret about these duotones, is that when you mess with the curve and you've got your lights down here and your darks up here, and when you mess with it you achieve contrast, and you can tell which parts of the ink you want to go to. You want it to go to the midtones? Well, there's a midtone image with lots and lots of that Pantone. If you want to back off on the midtones with that ink, you bring her down like so, and notice the blue pops up more. I want lots, and I'm going to blaze this thing out. And then I'm going to go to this one, and I want to bring it out. Maybe I want to bring up some blues in the bottom here and get some kind of chroma key kind of effect going on here. Just totally mess with this image, make it look really messed up. So just an extreme example. So this is my image so far, and I'm going to go to OK. I'm going to go OK. So there it is. There's my duotone image. Now it's a grayscale. It says duotone up here. It's grayscale, and there's only 2 inks applied to it. If I was to save this right now, I would save it over top of my original color information. So I don't want to do that. I want to go to File, Save As. I'm going to save it in my snowboard stuff. And by the way, I got this image off the internet. Thank you, whoever posted it. It's amazing. And I'm going to call this Duo 2, for example. I always name things Duo 2, Duotone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just so I know what's going on. Save it. Now, there, we're done. Get rid of that. Go back over here. Now you see what I've done is I've got this nice full color layout. I already laid everything out in color first. It's usually what I do. And then I go back, go in here, I'm going to select my image, go to File, Place. There's my new snowboard. And what I'm going to do before actually is I'm going to pull up my colors. These are all my colors so far, and these are actually all the spot colors that I have. Salmon, Pantone 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, brown, red, pink, redder. The Pantone ones, they're official colors. These ones here are the ones that I've made up just for personal use right now. Notice right over here in my Indesign display, I've got these little guys. When you see these little guys right here, it's a spot. They're indicated, they're little icons that indicate spot color. Okay, just so you know. These guys here, on the other hand, with your little gradient tones, they indicate that it's process color only. So I can go in here and notice I've got just these colors. So right now my yellow and my blue aren't here. As soon as I import this picture, InDesign's going to see the extra spot channels, those colors that have been applied in Photoshop, and import them into here. So I can use the same colors that were used in the Photoshop file in my InDesign layout. So here we go. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to select that blinking picture, and I'm going to duplicate, throw it in. Pow, there you go. There's my sky blue, there's my Pantone 1655. So one nice thing about doing this is that then I can go in and say, for example, I want to change this text, and I want to start echoing and repeating my layout colors. I can change the sky blue, the chunk. I can go back in here, I can change that to blue, I can change that to Pantone. Probably not a good idea because you can't read anything, but just letting you know the options there. I can go back into this chunk, I can change this to blue, I can change this to Pantone, etc., etc. And you'll see what happens is that now what I'm doing is I'm slowly building up a dynamic layout where I've got consistency repeating through color harmony. So now I'm going to select my little guys right here. I'm going to maybe throw a Pantone color in there. And if I can get inside here once again, select these guys, throw in the Pantone color there. So now what's happening is that I've got some really nice kind of consistency going on. This is getting a little rough. I might want to change this number 1. Go in here, make it a grayscale, go OK. I'm going to go back in here, go to mode, duotone. I can have it repeat the same thing. I can just have a monotone. I can double click on here, and I can actually assign any color I want, by the way. I can do whatever I want here. The nice way about this is because when you do it this way, it automatically brings the specific colors from Photoshop into InDesign. You can make spot colors inside InDesign, but then if you want to use them in Photoshop, you have to get the CMYK values, which are right down here, and numerically, put them in manually by yourself. So I'm going to go in here and I can pick whatever color I wish. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to go OK and make a nice pink. And I'm going to mess with the curves. And because it's just a real monotone image, it's not really going to do much with the curves anyway. So I can just leave that as is. Go OK. I'm going to call this, bright pink. So whatever you name this monotone, this name here shows up in your InDesign file. So be careful what you name it. Don't name it anything nasty if you got clients looking at it. So that's okay. So then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to save it as, say we're going to save it as Duo2. Okay. Close that off. I'm going to go back in here. To tell you the truth, that Duo2, that pink ain't going to cut it, and it's pretty ugly. For example, if I go and place this guy, oof, doesn't really work, that color harmony. Well, we got a bit of pink in there, but I mean, you understand what's going on here. Maybe I want to swap that out. I do have extras in here, so say I want to go to, let's see, is that number 1? Yeah, I've got another one in here with a nice yellow color. There we go. That's a bit better. And this on its own, this is also a duotone. So if I go here and I open this up, and I go into image mode, it's a duotone. There you go, Pantone 1, 2, 3, 5. C stands for coded. So there we go. So there is how you go ahead and flop out different images and get preset colors, spot colors inside from Adobe Photoshop into Adobe InDesign. And now we have some nice custom colors here which we could mess with. Now what you can do also is that you can export all this stuff as a PDF. You can export it in full CMYK and actually convert all these spot colors to CMYK values, which is usually what's done. Or you can output all this stuff as individual, cyan, magenta, yellow, and then all the special colors too. So, but that becomes expensive. So usually if you get more than 1 or 2 special colors, you probably want to output to CMYK. Anyway, that's my rant on spot colors. Tune in next time for a brief preview on proofing these little items with Adobe Acrobat. Thank you. Catch you later.